Nerves are being tested on financial markets around the world as the United States heads towards the deadline for reaching a deal on its debt ceiling. The stakes couldn't be higher, but there's still no sign of compromise between the Republicans and Democrats. A short while ago, President Obama went on primetime TV to put the heat on truculent Republicans. Here's the tone of his message.
It's a dangerous game that we've never played before, and we can't afford to play it now. Not when the jobs and livelihoods of so many families are at stake. We can't allow the American people to become collateral damage to Washington's political warfare.
Let's go now to North America correspondent Craig McMurtry in Washington. So, Craig, Barack Obama's speech was full of warnings about the consequences of not reaching an agreement on the debt ceiling. How did it go down there?
Well, it's fair to say that there was a muted response to it. There's real concern now that perhaps both sides are locking themselves into positions that will be hard to reconcile in the short time that's left before that August 2 deadline for a possible US default. The President in his address tonight said it would be an irresponsible outcome, a reckless outcome if there was a US default. He warned about the risk to America losing its AAA credit rating, the danger of credit card rates going up, mortgage rates going up, and he appealed on the grounds of fairness to the American people, criticising the Republican refusal to accept the elimination of tax breaks. Here's some of what he had to say.
Most Americans, regardless of political party, don't understand how we can ask a senior citizen to pay more for her Medicare before we ask a corporate jet owner or the oil companies to give up tax breaks that other companies don't get. How can we ask a student to pay more for college before we ask hedge fund managers to stop paying taxes at a lower rate than their secretaries?
And Craig, the Republicans were pretty quick off the mark with their response.
Yes, they certainly were. John Boehner, the Republican Speaker, actually had a televised address within minutes of the President's address, which is very unusual. They are attacking the Democrats and the President, saying the Democrats are not serious about cutting entitlement programs, that they want tax increases, which the Republicans, particularly conservative Republicans, are refusing to accept. And as you can hear, they are saying that the US President is just not serious about reining in Washington's spending.
And the sad truth is that the President wanted a blank check 6 months ago, and he wants a blank check today. This is just not going to happen.
So, Craig, the stalemate continues. The deadline is looming. Are people there really starting to think that the worst might happen?
Well, the best that can be said about it is both sides are still saying that there's just no way the US should default on its responsibilities. But the problem tonight is that you've got the market already, that it's being felt on US stocks and treasuries, though it's far from a panic reaction. You've got the IMF warning, or calling at least for urgent action. There is growing concern. And the problem here is that after today, after the weekend of negotiations, after talks all of last week, time's running out, and it's hard to see how the two sides bridge this divide, which, if anything, has only grown in the last 24 hours.
Thank you, Craig.